Great day, Star Louisians. Welcome to the second part of our Week 6 video discussion. This discussion, we focus on the operations of polynomials. First, we have addition of polynomials and subtraction of polynomials. Remember, the concept of polynomials are tackled in all levels of mathematics and in many fields of sciences. For polynomials to be useful, the skills now in performing fundamental operations must be developed. In adding and subtracting polynomials, terms that are exactly the same or different only in their numerical coefficients can be combined. That is why we now have what we call the like versus unlike terms. When can we say that terms are like terms and terms are unlike terms? We now have the following examples. So we have 3x squared and 21x squared. We go back with the definition of similar or like terms. Masasabi nating similar terms or like terms ang given kapag yung terms have the same exponents and variables. So in here, we have 3x squared and 21x squared. What can you notice on the variable of our first term? So we have 3x squared, ito po siya. Anong mapapansin nyo sa x? Meron siyang exponent na 2. How about yung pangalawa? Meron siyang exponent na 2 pa rin. So can we consider 3x squared and 21x squared as like terms? Yes, very good. We also have the next example, 10x raised to 4 and 9x raised to 4. We can say that 10x raised to 4 is similar to 9x raised to 4. Why? Because they have the same variables containing the same exponent. How about the third example? We have 3x squared and 21x. Are they like terms? Very good. They are not like terms. Why? Because on our first term, on the first expression given, rather, we have exponent of variable x is 2, while on the second expression, the exponent of variable x is 1. Therefore, they differ in terms of exponents. That's why we cannot consider the two expressions as like terms. Next example, we have 10x cubed and 9x squared. We check the variables of the given expressions. So we have for the first expression we have 10x cubed. The exponent of the variable x is 3, while on the second expression the exponent of variable x is 2. They differ, okay? In terms of exponents, magkaiba sila. Yung x sa first expression, meron siyang 3 na exponent, while on the second expression, meron siyang 2 na exponent. So, we cannot say that the two expressions are like terms. They are what we call unlike terms. So, we say terms are like if they have the same variables, pareho silang variable, and variables contain the same powers or the same exponents. Ito po. Okay? And we say that expressions are unlike terms if they differ in terms of variables and exponents. Next, we now proceed with addition of polynomials. Always remember that we can only add or combine like terms. Remember, kapag mag-add kayo, hindi naman pwedeng, for example, apple plus orange is equal to apple. Hindi pwedeng ganon, okay? We cannot combine an apple to an orange, okay? So we cannot, same with the process in adding polynomials, we cannot combine unlike terms. We can only combine like terms. Number 1, 7x raised to 4 plus 8x raised to 4. There are different steps that you need to follow when you are to add now polynomials. And what are they? First is you have to check whether the two expressions or the expressions that you are going to add are like terms or similar terms. If they are similar terms, then you can now add the numerical coefficients of the like terms, and then you have to copy the variable and the exponents of the variable or its power. So we now have, ayan, so similar terms, i-check nyo muna kung similar terms ba yung expressions na i-add nyo. 7x raised to 4 plus 8x raised to 4, yes, they are similar terms. Why? Because we can say x raised to 4 is the same as x raised to 4. Or the variables contain the same power. That's why they are similar. Okay? And then after identifying whether the two expressions or the expressions that you are going to add are similar terms, you can now add the numerical coefficients of like terms. And after adding, you copy the variable and its power. Okay, paano yon? So 7x raised to 4 plus 8x raised to 4. I-add daw natin yung numerical coefficient. Ano yung numerical coefficient nung first expression? We have 7x raised to 4. Ang numerical coefficient niya is 7. Okay, and then for the second expression, we have 8x raised to 4. Ang numerical coefficient niya rather is 8. So 7 plus 8, kaya meron kayong nakikitang 15 dyan. At saan nakuha yung x raised to 4 at x raised to 4, sir? Sa sum. Kinopya lang po natin yung variable, pati yung power na magkapareho doon sa expression. Hindi pwedeng x raised to 4 plus x raised to 4 is x raised to 8. Hindi pwedeng ganun. You just have to copy the variable and its power when you are adding polynomials. So the sum now is equal to 15x raised to 4. I hope that's clear. Next. Another one, we have 3x plus the quantity negative 8x. So we still follow the same steps. We identify whether the two expressions or the expressions that you are going to add are similar terms. So as we can see, 3x plus negative 8x, 3x and negative 8x are similar terms. Why? Because the terms contain now the same variable having the same power. Okay? And then after identifying whether the expressions are similar, then you may now add the numerical coefficients of like terms. Okay? So we have 3 plus negative 8. What will you do? Apply the adding rule, okay, in adding integers. Okay, so we have 3 plus negative 8. Different signs, subtract and carry the sign of the greater number. So we have now negative 5. So 3 plus negative 8, negative 5 po. And then copy the variable and its power. So, x. Kaya may naging x dyan. Parang 3 apples plus negative 8 apples. O, parang ang sagot, negative 5 apples. Okay? So, meron kang 3 apples daw, 3 apples. Tapos, meron kang utang na 8 apples. Okay? Ilan din ang merong apples ka pa or natitirang apples na meron ka? Meron ka pang utang na 5 apples. Bakit po sa utang? Kasi nga, negative pa siya. Okay? That's why the answer is negative 5x. Next. We also have 14x minus 3y plus the quantity 10x plus 10y. So we are now adding binomials. Okay? Why? Because each expression that we are going to add are made up of 2 terms. So for the first expression, we have 14x minus 3y. How many terms can you see? There are 2 terms. So they are called to be binomials, even with our second expression. Same step you need to follow for adding these 2 expressions. You have to identify or combine similar terms. So 14x plus 10x. negative 3y plus positive 10y. Magsasama lahat yung x, okay, and then yung y together. X together, y together. That is why we now have 14x plus 10x minus 3y plus 10y. Pinagsama ko yung may x na variable at saka y na variable. Kasi hindi natin pwedeng i-add ang 14x sa 10y. Okay? Hindi sila similar terms. Ang ipag-a-add lang natin or ipag-combine natin ay similar terms. So we now have 14x plus 10x, it will give you a sum of 24x. Negative 3y plus 10y, it will give you a sum of 7y. So the final answer now is equal to 24x plus 7y. Next example, we now have a trinomial added to a binomial. Okay, so there are three terms, that's why it's called trinomial. And the second one is an example of a binomial made up of two terms. So what are we going to do? We simply combine similar terms or like terms. Okay, may b squared dito. Meron bang b squared dun sa second expression? Meron. So we have to combine 3b squared plus 7b squared. Next, 13b. Meron ba kayong b variable na nakikita sa pangalawang expression? Wala. So as it is, you just need to bring down 13b. Okay? And then, positive 10, constant. May constant ba dyan sa second expression? Meron. It's positive 15. So 10 plus 15. That's why it will give you now the solution 3b squared plus 7b squared plus 13b plus 10 plus 15. Evaluating, it will give you now 3 plus 7, 10. Then, copy the variable and its power, b squared, plus 13b plus 10 plus 15. This should be 25. Please disregard 7y, okay? Na-typo si sir. I'm sorry. So, that should be 25 only. Walang 7y. Okay? So, our final answer would be 10b squared plus 13b plus 25. Next, how about if we are going to add 10x plus 11y? We go back with the rule in adding polynomials. When you add polynomials, take note that you can only add or combine similar terms. So we try to check our expressions. 10x and 11y. Are they similar terms? They are not similar terms, or they are called to be unlike terms. That's why, if there are no similar terms, that will serve as our final answer. That is already our answer. So the answer is 10x plus 11y. So kapag wala na kayo nakikitang magkaparehong terms, okay, huwag niyong piliting ipag-combine sila. Okay, because that's now our final answer. Okay, so that's the concept of adding now polynomials. You can only add polynomials when they are similar terms. You can only combine terms when they are similar terms. Okay, let's now proceed with the next one. Subtraction of polynomials. Still, we can only subtract polynomials, numerical coefficients of polynomials of like terms. Okay, so dapat may like terms pa rin doon sa expression para ma-subtract nyo sila. May we have our first example under subtraction. So 15x raised to 4 minus 11x raised to 4. We try to check whether the two expressions given are similar terms or like terms. Are they similar or like terms? Considered to be like terms? Yes. Why? Because they have the same variable containing the same power or the same exponent. So we can subtract the two expressions. And in subtracting similar terms, we just need to subtract the numerical coefficients of the two expressions or the expressions that you're going to subtract, and then you bring down or copy the variable indicated in the given and its power. So 15 minus 11, that will give you 4, and then you just need to bring down x raised to 4. So the difference would be 4x raised to 4. Following now the steps, we have identified First, if the given expressions that you are going to subtract are similar terms, after identifying whether they are similar from each other, you subtract the numerical coefficients of like terms and then copy the variable and its power. Take note, do not forget what is meant by numerical coefficient. When we say numerical coefficient, we are dealing with the numerals, okay, before the literal coefficient. Okay, yung number before nung variable na x. Okay, yun yung numerical na sinasabi natin. Next example. We have 9x minus the quantity negative 5x. This is very easy. You recall now rules in subtracting now integers. So we have to apply now the COC. Okay, I hope you can still recall that one. Copy, opposite, and change. So we have to copy 9x, opposite of the minus sign, or opposite of subtraction sign, we have the addition sign. So it will become plus. And then change the sign of the subtrahend. That is negative 5x, it will become positive 5x. So we have, they are similar terms. Why? Because we have the same variable containing the same power or exponent. Okay, so magiging ang sagot dyan is 14x. Paano naging 14x, sir? Applying COC, 9, copy 9, change, opposite, minus maging plus, 9 plus, and then change the sign of the subtrahend, negative 5 maging positive 5. So 9 plus 5, it's equal to 14. And then you have to bring down or copy the variable and its power. It's x. So our final answer is 14x. Next, we have 8a plus 13 minus 2a plus 11. So we are subtracting now two binomial expressions. So we have to combine like terms, yung a para sa a, yung constant para sa constant. So we have now, following the different steps, it will give us now, remove the grouping symbols. Why? Because since it says here, since the second grouping symbol is preceded by negative sign, you have to change the sign of each enclosed term. Meaning, okay, yung negative sign na nakikita niyo dyan, yung subtraction sign, you will distribute that one in each term that you can see inside the parenthesis under the subtrahend. Okay? Ito po yung minwen, yung una. Yung binabawas dun sa minwen, ang tawag dun subtrahend. Okay? At yung gagawin nyo sa minus sign, i-distribute nyo yan doon sa terms, sa lahat ng terms na nandoon sa loob ng parenthesis or yung terms under the subtrahend. Okay? So magiging 8a plus 13 minus 2a minus 11. Bakit naging minus 2a minus 11? Negative times positive 2a, it will give us negative 2a. Negative times positive 11, it's negative 11. Then after that, you have to combine now similar terms, 8a minus 2a, and then 13 minus 11. It will give us now 8a minus 2a, 6a, 13 minus 11, it's positive 2. So our final answer would be 6a plus 2. Another one, so we now have an example under trinomials. So 4a plus 5b plus 10c minus the quantity 2b plus 3c plus 2a. Still we follow the rule or the steps in subtracting now polynomials. What will you do? You have to remove the grouping symbols, okay? And then you have to change the sign of the terms that are being enclosed. Okay, ito po. Using the parenthesis. Okay, so i-distribute ulit natin yung negative sign sa bawat term na nandito sa subtrahend or na nasa loob ng parenthesis. So that it will give us now 4a plus 5b plus 10c. Negative times positive 2b, magiging negative 2b. Negative times positive 3c, magiging negative 3c. And negative times positive 2a, it will give us negative 2a. After that, we are now ready to combine like terms. So we have now 4a minus 2a. Don't forget to carry the sign of the term. Okay, so negative 2a siya. So 4a minus 2a plus bring down 5b minus 2b plus 10c minus 3c. After combining like terms, you may now perform the indicated operations. 4a minus 2a is equal to 2a. 5b minus 2b is equal to positive 3b. And 10c minus 3c is equal to positive 7c. So our final answer would be 2a plus 3b plus 7c. Next, we also have what we call now addition and subtraction of polynomials using now the vertical method, or adding and subtracting polynomials vertically. How will this process works? Okay, or paano kayo mag-add or magsusubtract ng polynomials gamit ang vertical method? So we have now 2a plus b plus 3a plus 10. What will you do? You have to arrange similar terms in vertical columns. Kapag sinabing vertical, patayo po siya. Okay? Patayo. So, magiging, ayan, ganyan na po yung kinakalabasan niya. So, i-arrange nyo siya, yung similar terms, vertical columns. So, 2a plus 3a, magkatapat po sila because they are similar terms. Same with 5 and 10. 5 plus 10. And don't forget to carry the sign of the terms. And then, after that, you have to add the numerical coefficients of like terms, and then you copy the variable and its power. So, 2a plus 3a is equal to 5a. 5 plus 10 is equal to 15. So, that's how you add now and subtract polynomials using the vertical method. Or adding, subtracting polynomials vertically. We proceed with a subtraction. So still, arrange similar terms in vertical columns. So x together, y's together. So we have 15x minus 7x. Magkatapat po sila. And then, negative 5y, ayan po, minus negative 2y. And then, subtract the numerical coefficients of like terms. And then you have to copy now the variable and its power. 15 minus 7, it's equal to 8. You bring down x. Negative 5 minus negative 2. Negative 5 minus negative 2. Copy. Negative 5, opposite of minus, it will become plus. And change negative 2, magiging positive 2 yan. So, negative 5 plus 2, it will give us negative 3. That's why our final answer is 8x minus 3y. So, those are the things that you need to know under adding and subtracting polynomials. So that's all for our discussion for this week.